Hello, and welcome to the Dad and Buried show /podcast /YouTube phenomenon.
Yeah, phenomenon is a good
Don't
word.
slip into the accent.
You know
I'm
what?
not into it.
I'm not even into it.
Right.
I'm just saying
You're
phenomenon.
thinking about it. I can tell you're thinking about it.
It is.
Stop
It's
it.
Easily the fastest growing podcast
Brooklyn-based
for
two-
dads that are two
dads.
white males.
Yeah.
On
There's
the
not a lot of
internet.
white males with podcasts. It's a fun fact.
No. Fun
fact.
fact. Yeah, wow.
So this week on the podcast, we're going to be talking about double standards, just the different ways that moms and dads are treated out in the parenting world. But before we do, I want to tell you a little bit about myself because I want to connect with you guys. So my name's
Who are you?
Mike. My name's Mike. I was raised in Connecticut. I went to college in Boston and lived there for quite a long time. And then I moved to Brooklyn, and that's where I live now. That's where we're doing this podcast.
With your wife, or is this solo?
With my wife.
Okay.
I wish. I often regret that I didn't move to New York immediately after
just
college.
with solo, just with your kids.
With Hope Solo. No, the goalie for U.S. Women's National Soccer
I get
team.
it. Yeah.
She's cute. Anyway, so I have made my bones online talking shit about my kids and talking shit about parenting because I'm sarcastically trashing my kids, but I am quite sincerely trashing parenting. I love my kids. I hate parenting. It sucks. It's frustrating. I make a lot of funny, I think you would all agree, hilarious memes on my quite popular Instagram
yeah,
account.
you're talking over me, but I'm saying I don't know.
Well, you're saying negative things about me.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
How's your Instagram doing? Exactly.
You know what?
Exactly.
Guess what?
You know
I'm
what?
not on the Devil's Network.
There's people out there that probably think that. I want to meet them and then actually never.
You know what?
ever
I
meet
handle
them, actually.
snakes in the weekends. It's fine.
Oh, one of those crews.
Yeah, big time.
So that's what I do online. I'm kind of a little bit in character as Dad and Buried, if you will, on my blog and my Facebook and my Instagram and Twitter.
And on your podcast and at home.
My podcast and at home
Put your
and at
kids
home.
to bed.
And Pete is neither in character nor has any character. He's pretty
Ouch,
bland
but-
until he busts out his bag of fingers and his British
Yeah,
accent.
here we
Pete
go.
grew up in England, or at least he
Yep.
likes to pretend that, and I've never Googled
Okay.
to verify it. Peoplefinder.com. Would I be able to find out?
What are you going to Google?
I don't know. You have a very common name, so
Yep.
I probably wouldn't be able to find
Exactly-
shit. Look at you. You're a chameleon. You're a chameleon.
Exactly. That's how I make it. Just try Googling John Smith in England.
Okay.
Okay.
He married Pocahontas. He's actually quite famous. So here's the weird thing. So Pete and I didn't know each other for the podcast. We drew names out of a hat and we got merged together as co-hosts on the podcast. That's not true. If you want to know how we actually met, maybe we're going to do a mailbag episode. Pete is cringing at the idea.
We're on episode 29.
This is episode 29 somehow. We
Look
started
at us.
in late January or February?
Yeah.
Late
Look at
January,
us.
right before the Super Bowl. The goddamn fucking Super Bowl.
That
The Patriots
that-
won again. Literally makes me sick. I might throw up. Anyway, no offense to the Patriots fans out there.
No,
Plenty
no,
offense to them,
super
actually.
offense.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you,
big
and
time
if
offense.
and you understand that, and I
All
think you actually enjoy it. So before we get into the episode, we want to remind everybody there's lots of different ways to support us. You can go to iTunes and you can subscribe. You can rate us. We're launching an initiative tonight. Once we get to 100 iTunes reviews or ratings, hopefully with some reviews, because you can do a star rating without writing a review. We're going to let the viewers choose from, I think, 4 controversial episode topics.
Don't you do it.
I think we're gonna.
Don't let them do it.
Some of the topics that are
Do
controversial
not let
will be
these-
problematic for us because we're
Do you
not
know
doctors.
what
We're not
these
scientists.
do you know what the people
They're
listening?
jackals.
The 4 people that are listening. Do you know what they want?
I know exactly what they
Oh
want.
my God.
You know what? And it's going to be.
horrible.
We're also. It's not going to be political. We're saving the politics for an all politics episode, episode 500.
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
politics. We may or may not have the same president/dictator at that point. We'll find out.
Yep.
It'll be a little while.
Yeah.
So you can go to YouTube and comment on specific episodes. You can rate us on Spotify and Apple, and anywhere you listen. You can find us on Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, other things that I don't know the name of. Are we on? We're not on iHeartRadio yet. Can you do that?
No, but
You can get on Alexa somehow, can't we?
Yeah. So if you just shout into your Alexa,
Loud
play
enough,
this podcast, you'll embarrass both yourself and everyone around you because we're not.
And that's
there.
without even playing
Yeah,
it. And then when
that's
you do
like-
play it, you
yeah,
can embarrass
exactly.
yourself and everyone around you.
Or have your kid shout the poopy song.
Oh my God.
Have they done that?
Your kids have been at my
Those
house
sons
and
of
have done
bitches,
that.
These sons of bitches.
Okay, so you can also give us money if you want on Patreon and Anchor.
But can I just say about the YouTube?
No.
Well, Oh, God damn, I'm gonna say it
Fine,
anyway.
I'll allow it.
What we're hoping to do is try and get the conversation about the particular topic.
Move to
around.
YouTube.
Yeah,
The thing is,
just
though,
'cause you can comment.
But
on
most
it.
of the time, when I share a clip of the episode or something about the fact that it's released on Instagram, that's where a lot of the comments go.
All right. Well,
but you know what?
we'll go
Comment.
on.
We can find your comments anywhere. Hide them
Exactly.
on the dark web, and we'll seek them out. We're gonna
Silk
do what we
Road.
can. We want your
Silk Road,
engagement. This
folks.
show doesn't go without you guys.
Yep,
Um,
absolutely.
and thanks to a handful of you guys who are already patrons and supporting us with a little bit of cash flow. The single dad tier is Chris Coleman and MS Babayan, who's super loyal. Thank you, Mary. We got the dad bod tier is Barbara Geiger, who's also super loyal. We have the newcomer Jordan Martin on that tier. Thank you very much, Jordan. Welcome. Father figure tier Julie McCarthy and Paul Opolsky, who is commenting left and right. I think we're going to read something from him lately. We got World's Greatest Dad, Mary Williams and Mom Party of Two. And my new dad, who's relatively new, Sarah. Thank you very much for your contribution. We appreciate it. And the all-time Hall of Famer original, Mr. Sarge.
Sarge.
Miss you, Sarge. Love you.
To us, Sarge.
Miss you every
love
day. So, yeah, look, we promised you guys some merch. We're trying to figure out the best way to get that to you. We got some stickers. Quite frankly, sending you guys stickers is
We're
like
working on it.
we should just send you. We should get some Dad and Buried stamps made so we can just send an empty envelope,
Yeah.
and then the stamp is your sticker.
Exactly.
That would be the way to do it.
Yep,
Most
we're
cost
working on
effective
the
way.
least lame thing that we can
I
do
want to
you
get
guys.
pint glasses and like bottle openers, and not a lot of
And
places
then-
make those, and it's tough to find
Yes,
it. And the margin on those is tough. So I don't want to get too deep into economics because
We're
I don't
gonna get
understand
you though.
it.
We're gonna get you. We got you.
I'm not even sure I used the term margin correctly, but whatever.
So didn't.
I'm talented in other ways.
Are you?
I don't know.
What kind of talents do you have? Would
Um,
you say?
I'm
Clarinet?
very good at unknotting things, right? A lot of times in my
Unknotting?
family, like unknotting. My wife's
Untying
jewelry
stuff?
gets fucking knotted together. Or her fucking iPhones. She'll put iPhones on the
Her
table and she'll
iPhones?
turn around. iPhone headphones.
Why would you say
Her headphones. I don't
iPhones?
know.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're saying that you can unknot.
I'm good at
an
unknotting
iPhone?
things. It's painstaking. It takes a long time. I'm fucking gifted at it.
I don't think that sounds like something that's talented. When
You're right.
saying
It's a
like
skill. It's more of a
like
skill than a talent.
painstaking and
It's more of a
long.
tilt than a
Okay.
skill. I'm very good at movie references. We're gonna see later this episode. We're gonna see what I pull out of my ass this episode.
Well, listen, hold
Hopefully
on.
some new stuff.
So we got a couple comments on our previous episodes that we're gonna hit up just before.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So we have Paul O.
Paul Opolsky, one of our patrons. Thank you,
Yes,
Paul.
On our favorites. I don't know if you've heard this.
Oh,
but
in our favorite
previous-
parent
yeah,
episode, like
Yeah.
who's the favorite parent in your house and what are the benefits of it?
exactly.
So Paul said, I discovered another pro to being the preferred parent, getting credit for nice things the non-preferred parent did.
Oh, that's
So he says his son's daycare recently complimented him on a new outfit he was wearing. So his son proudly told him that daddy bought it for him when of course it was actually mom, because the dad is like, I'm so in the tank for my dad.
Right.
I'm going to lie, or not lie, just assume, going to give my dad the credit for buying me this cool shirt that
Yeah.
somebody likes.
So. Yeah.
So Paul says, now the staff thinks I'm an awesome parent with awesome fashion sense, when in reality I have no idea what the new clothes even look like, because he had nothing to do with buying it.
Exactly. And if you don't know what that's about, listen to the last episode, because it's all
Yep.
about how the
Spoiler
kids,
alert.
Yeah, like one parent over the other. And this is a great example of how Paul, by the way, was sitting back in an armchair. By the way, the armchair
Drinking.
was a lazy boy.
Was it a lazy boy?
And
They still make those?
His arms were interlaced behind his head
No
with a
shit.
cold beer.
As
And
he
guess
typed
what?
this?
And guess what? His
As
wife
his son came in.
exactly saying no, as he went to pick up his kid probably, and the kindergarten crew just semicircled him and said, thank you so much for being an
I want to hear
wonderful
from
dad."
Paul's wife and see how upset
Meanwhile,
Paul's wife is for not
is
getting
like,
the credit she
this
deserves.
motherfucker
Yeah.
got all the credit.
We're going to talk about
Yeah.
misplaced
You
credit
know what? She just called the police.
coming shortly.
There
Yeah,
we
well, they should have. We're going to talk about misplaced credit. So a couple weeks back, we also talked about telling the truth about parenting and the toll that it takes, but also the many, many benefits it has.
Yeah.
Pete and I are very firm, staunch proponents of telling the truth about parenting, which means,
I agree. It's not
warts
all
and
good.
all, as
yeah,
they
it's
say.
Not good. It's
So
not good.
Sarge, a Hall of Famer, he'll be in Monument Alley when we create busts for our ultimate listeners. He says, He prefers seeing the reality of parenting over the rainbows and unicorns some pages present. I actually hate those fake-ass happy dad ads on Instagram. And I agree with him. I don't like fakeness.
Right.
Don't get out of my face with that fake shit.
Yeah.
Be honored by my lateness.
That's
a Kanye lyric.
You know what? I'm glad you made that, but it was horribly placed and no one liked it. So
Well, you know what? He's
when
a
I say
talented
no
guy,
one,
even if he's not
I'm
liked.
talking about me.
Well,
Because it was
you are not
probably no. I love Kanye, but the point being is that favorites is that
We're talking about truth about parenting now, my man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Truth about parenting. These fake Instagram accounts, not fake Instagram accounts. They're Instagram accounts that glorify parenting, and everyone's looking amazing.
Yes, they're posed,
and wonderful,
they're bullshit,
and everyone's beautiful. Here's who's not beautiful. You and your horrible
Say children.
Instagram.
Okay. Are you talking about mine?
Yeah,
I tell the truth.
I'm literally pointing at
if I
you.
exaggerate, you were.
Pointed
He was
at
actually
you.
pointing at me. Watch on YouTube. If I exaggerate anyway, I exaggerate towards the negative side of things.
Exactly.
I purposely put filters on myself to look worse than I do. I'm not anywhere near this overweight.
First of all, Mike's at least 160 and super jacked.
160?
Yeah.
Is that a compliment?
That's a good compliment.
Am I 6'5" as well?
Yeah.
Oh, 160. That's
Sure.
lighter than I am.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I forgot that I'm
But
actually
you know what?
quite
You
heavier than
look
160.
amazing.
Thanks, Pete.
Especially
I don't
in
even
that
wear skinny
Spidey-
jeans like you.
Spidey
You making fun of my Spider-Man shirt?
Nope. Just pointing it out for the audience. And
For the
letting
audience.
you get it defensive.
All right, so excuse me, I had a little frog in my throat there.
Okay. That was horrible.
You didn't even notice. You know what?
I don't
You don't notice anything anymore. You didn't even notice I got my hair done. I haven't. I
Hair
need a
done?
hair.
Your
I need
hair
my,
done?
I'm sorry, my hair did. I know that's the proper terminology. It was a fucking joke. I was pretending to be the wife. Anyway, look. We'll be back in a few minutes.
We're gonna finish this argument later.
We're going to talk about double standards with parenting.
God damn it.
Pete and I have a lot of things to say about this because you people had a lot of things to say, and most of you are moms, and Pete and I aren't,
Get ready. We're doing it.
because we're going to disagree with you. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to the Dad and Buried podcast. Guess what? It's me, Pete, not Mike.
I apologize in advance.
No, don't apologize.
Too late.
There's nothing to apologize
Well,
for
we'll see.
because this is going to be amazing.
Oh my God.
So, we're talking about essentially double standards.
Essentially.
Well, what is double standards in both parenting as well as spousal relationships?
Right.
Because let's face it, everybody, when the spouse goes away, especially if you're a dad, when they come back, the exchange
So you're saying if the
rate,
dad goes away?
let me be real. Yes,
You said especially if you're a dad. So if you're
if
the
you're
dad,
a dad
who's gone
taking
away.
care of the kids
Okay, while your spouse is
while your
gone.
spouse is gone,
Right.
which is very much encouraged by this podcast because that's an important part.
Everyone needs time away from the kids, and you
get
should
your fucking spouse out of the house.
Yes.
That's what you got to do.
I agree.
I don't care who you
Gots
are. You
to.
got to
Gots
get the
to.
fucking spouse out the house. And
This is
then
a weird Dr. Seuss.
what happens is when they come back after a weekend, after 48 hours of taking care of these lovely, lovely offspring that you've made and that have constantly graded on you the whole 48
The entire
hours.
time. It's been miserable.
What happens is the exchange rate, i.e., oh, now that you're back, and now
What can I get away with? Yeah,
away
what do
with?
I
What
get
can
in return?
is what we call
Bullshit?
disproportionate. I
So-
think you'll find.
So you're saying when your wife goes away and you've been saddled with these children,
Yes.
she comes back, you expect a little something, right? Like, oh, now I can go do this, or I get some kind of leeway, or
Well-
I get some recognition.
well, let's no. So let me kind of break it down here because we're talking
Break it down for me,
currency.
fellas.
We're going currency here. So we're talking hours, right? So
You're counting the hours.
well, let's just say we all do. Let's just
Let's
assume,
say we all do, but I
assume
don't know
we
that
all
we
do.
all
both
You
wives
do.
and husbands. Oh, please.
We talked about how your family, you weaponize everything last week,
Yeah,
so that's what
yeah.
you do. So now
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
you're
And
counting
now I'm
the hours.
monetizing
Why is
everything,
it not
yes.
minutes? These are the
Because
minutes
we're
I've been alone
sure,
with the children.
Let's do minutes, but we're talking hours.
Okay.
So what happens is now you're at the 48-hour mark, and your wife comes home, and she's like, you know what, honey, just why don't you go out for an hour?
Go
and
record your podcast.
Yeah, go
have fun
enjoy,
with your
exactly.
with your business partners.
Your little fun
'Cause we're not
thing that you
friends.
do. No,
Yeah,
but
your
we-
little
you
lark.
know,
Yeah, your
little
lark.
fun
It's
thing.
fucking paying
Go
for our
out for an
kids'
hour.
college.
And then the second you come back from that hour after a 48-hour period away,
Right.
it's over.
Yeah.
Wash.
Right.
Now,
You're saying as a
husband-
dad, you get that hour.
as a husband, just imagine for a second, a husband says,
I can't imagine being a
I'm
husband.
going away for a river camp. The same amount of time, mind you.
What's river camp?
Just like I'm just giving an example of
But what does that
something.
mean?
It's like a 2-day camp on a river of some kind. Some
In a van down by the river?
Yeah. Sure. Great.
Saturday Night Live reference,
good,
guys.
Good imagination.
Bob
Is
Odenkirk wrote that.
where
Little
you
known
wanna-
fact.
Is that where you would camp?
You know
in a
what?
van
If
by
my
the river?
kids weren't there, I'm fucking down with it. I'll go in a van down by the
Cool.
river right now.
You know what? Me too. All right.
Exactly.
We're both on the same page.
Hashtag me too.
We come back. What do you think the scene is like? The scene is, okay, so here are the following. First of all, your entire, every second from now until midweek is now consumed by taking care of the kids. Because the exchange rate
is what we call disproportionate.
Just
Can I say
proportionate.
something to you that this is what bothers me? And this is my relationship. I don't want to
Okay.
cast any stones, throw any
Cast-
stones,
cast
cast any
away.
aspersions, or
You
throw any
should.
stones.
You probably
So I love telling my wife, especially when she was stay-at-home mom, go out with your friends.
Yes.
Go out. You deserve it for the night. You know what? I'll watch what I want.
It's a
probably
win-win.
Dark
It's a
on Netflix
win-
because it's a great show,
win.
which I got you into and you now appreciate.
And I do kind of
I
appreciate
deserve-
it. It's okay.
Don't
but also
pretend
the
you
boys,
don't like
the
it just
boys
because I
is also
recommend
very
it.
good.
I'm not
you
watching
son
The
of a
Boys.
bitch. All right,
Till
yeah,
you acknowledge
you
how
don't
good
have-
Dark is.
Dark is
Anyway.
okay. It's not as good as the boys. All right, go.
That's fucking bullshit. I haven't seen The Boys, but I know for a fact. Anyway,
All right.
so I'll send my wife out. In fact, this coming weekend, she has her girlfriends coming up for college weekend.
Great.
I'm taking the kids to my parents in Connecticut because her girlfriends are staying at our apartment
Yep.
in New York because New York is a hip, happening place to be.
Do you say hip happening?
Hippity happening, hippity happening, hip hopopotamus,
Yes, we get it.
Big Daddy reference, guys. That's 2 pop culture references. I'm gonna see what I can do tonight. So unless you count Dark, that'll be 3. I'm going to my parents, and here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna take the kids to my parents, and my wife's not gonna fucking hear a word from me. I'm not gonna
Correct.
text her. I'm not gonna do any of that
Yes,
shit.
Exactly. More.
When I go away for the weekend or come out, almost as soon as I leave the door,
Oh, hey.
she'll start texting me.
Did you not pick up the milk that I
Yes.
asked you to in the
Complaints
400
or-
word text that I speech to texted? When the line was, "Can you pick up the milk?" and then I speech
Yeah.
to texted 400 characters,
400
400
is
words,
very long, yeah.
and then I replied with K.
Or
With
she'll
the word
text,
letter K.
about
The
how
letter
she's
K.
having a bad time. Like, oh, this kid's doing this kid's doing that. Look, you know what? I washed my hands of it when I left the house. Give me that.
Hey,
The whole point is that I'm out and away from the kids. When you go, I don't fucking bitch about what's going on in the house and like make you feel guilty for being gone. You know why? Because I know how much it sucks. And also because I know if I do that, you'll divorce me. Whereas when you do it to
Mundo.
me, I'm going to suck it up because it's one of the double standards of the spousal relationship. Just like your disproportionate thing, right?
That's
You
a
can
big
bring that
double
up, but if you bring that disproportionate thing up, you're going to get shot down.
oh my God!
It's going to cause too
Would
many,
I bring it up?
too many
no.
problems. No,
the
obviously
only
not.
time I would ever bring it up is on some sort of podcast. That's I mean, come on,
or
give me a break.
when you're in the middle of a big fight
Oh,
and
please.
you've
Oh my
bitten
God,
your
no
tongue,
way.
you've bitten your tongue for so
my
long,
God.
and then it gets to the point where finally you have to say it.
We've been
God
married-
damn it! When I fucking go out, like honestly, I probably shouldn't have said what I just said
been married
unless
too
I was in
long.
the middle of a really bad fight. But now it will probably cause a really bad fight. So great. I'm
So
happy
here
we're
we
doing
have
the podcast.
we have what's called disproportionate spousal exchange.
Rate.
Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Well, we're getting into double standards now. It's
I
a little
know,
bit
but-
less about spousal
but
stuff.
quite frankly,
But it does come down to the disproportionate part of it is a
Yeah.
very apt
because
description. I appreciate
our
that.
perception as dads is different from mom's perception as our wives.
Well, so not even that. what we're really going to be talking about this episode is society's perception of moms and dads. Society,
You son of a bitch.
right?
I
So,
fucking hate you.
I posed this
society.
question on my Instagram, and thank you to everybody who responded. We got a lot of comments. I've written a lot of them. I've transcribed a lot of them here. I don't know. We're going to get to all of them. We're going to do our GD best.
All right, let's
to
do it.
All right. So, one of the main topics, and I've been hearing this for years, is that people perceive dads who do anything as like fucking mythical creatures, like heroes, superheroes, right? So Linzerbins, I like the name, Linzerbins says, dropping off school supplies isn't just for moms. My husband isn't a hero for helping, right? So like there's a whole
call.
theme of this hero thing, but this in particular gets to part of it, where is if a dad is out in public being seen doing something, even if it's
Yeah.
something totally mundane and
Yes.
routine, it's like,
Yes.
oh, look at that guy. If you're in the fucking
Exactly.
dad in the drop-off line of the school, the moms are all over you. I can't tell you how many looks I get. People, I mean, look, I'm a very attractive man, so that's part of it, but a lot of it is Nate's agreeing. Look at him
You
nodding
know what?
his head.
I've seen a bunch of your drawings that you've done of yourself in the mirror, and they are.
What does that
really
mean? Drawings I've done of
unattractive.
myself in the mirror?
Like,
None of that sentence
kind
makes
of like
sense.
Titanic with you, like nude.
Draw me. So I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
to myself
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
mirror,
yeah. Yes,
hey, Mike,
yeah, yeah,
draw
yeah.
myself
Yeah,
like
that's
one of your
'cause
French
that's kind of
girls.
psycho you are.
That
So
is the
he-
weirdest
he-
scenario I've legitimately ever heard. And you
Here's
talked
what
about
I'm
bag of
saying.
fingers a few weeks ago.
Yeah, because you are a bag of fingers. Here's
I don't even know what that
But
means.
here's what I actually think is really good about what you said. And actually,
How
sorry,
attractive
what
I am.
Linzerbins said,
Yinglings.
which is, here's what these moms / dads maybe, because I don't know the other
Nope,
side of
we're
it.
literally, literally talking about dads.
Well, okay, well, you were talking about moms saying, you know what, fuck this
Dad
guy
gets-
for
dads
showing
get
up.
too much credit for
showing
doing
up
generic
yeah,
shit.
exactly. And guess what? Guess what's happening?
What?
That's going around the whole. Every single mom who sees a single dad or sees a dad, not a,
dad,
single dad,
yeah.
a dad in line somewhere doing something, it's like, well, that guy's dad does way more than you do, and
To
you're
their
like,
own dad, yeah.
yeah,
To their
and-
own husband, yeah.
and you as the husband and provider or whatever, as a husband, excuse me, just simple. Well,
me-
yeah,
hashtag
I don't
me
want to.
too.
Yeah, I don't want to like overstep my
It's
bounds.
2019.
But at the same time, we're being put in a corner, and guess who doesn't
Nobody
like
puts
Yeah,
hubby in the corner.
exactly.
Well, look, here's the part of the problem is, and I don't want to bring it back to society,
I
but I'm
think-
going to.
God
The
damn
world is
society.
changing, and more dads are taking on an equal share of
yes,
the parenting
they
work.
are.
But for centuries, millennia, eons,
Horrible
I think
amounts of
eons is
time.
a stretch.
No, we should say awful amounts of time. Just to,
Well, awful amounts of time, like 3 days, 2 hours is an awful amount of
Yeah.
time, depending on what's happening,
That's a good
right?
point.
So, but dads have been the one who was out doing the hunting of the woolly mammoths. Look, I'm not an historian.
Well, this is
all
getting
right,
weird.
I'm
but
just
yeah.
saying there's a reason the society
They
is
can
cha-
hunt woolly mammoths,
society
but they can drop off the fucking backpack.
is
first day.
changing.
Yes.
Society is changing, but it hasn't changed, and there's a lot of people with retrograde attitudes. But the fact is, if there are 30 moms at the school drop off, there might only be 5 dads. So it still is a little bit of an anomaly. Maybe in
Totally.
your community it's a little bit different. But dads do get more credit for doing shit
And
that moms
and-
do every
and quite
day.
frankly, I'm saying Linzerbins is right. Like
I agree.
They should sometime. Actually, how about both showing up and just both being like, "Hey, bye,
you know what?
everybody."
Maybe mom's got a more high-powered career and she can't be late for a fucking meeting.
call.
You know what?
God, look at you.
So underscore
So
Vaughny
woke.
underscore
so
says
woke.
baby wearing is another big example where somebody sees a dad wearing a baby. They're like, go you, my man. But somebody sees a mom wearing a baby. It's like, yeah, no shit.
She's like, your back.
Mom's
is
wearing a fucking baby.
destroyed.
Check your kids at the door who is a dad. Who it's a funny meme page. You should check it out. Check your kids at the door on Instagram. Says, my wife hates how I get compliments when I take all 3 kids out shopping. First of all, why are you taking all 3 kids out
First
shopping?
of all, because he's a fucking badass.
He is a
and
badass.
That's how you
First
works.
of all, if you're a mom and you're taking all 3 kids out shopping, what are you doing?
What are you talking about?
Ditch
That's-
one of them.
Dude, that's an activity.
I know it
in
is.
the
Your wife does it
afternoon.
all the time.
No, I do it all the time. I'm
I
like,
don't believe
hey.
that. You're not a quick. You couldn't handle that.
Oh, really? What? Fuck out of here.
Nate, you can do that?
I
That's
can.
how we grew up.
I know.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
No, my point is my whole afternoon activities. We're gonna go shopping.
Yeah, I don't leave
for,
the
like,
house.
bread.
You know why? Because I know I'm not as good at my wife as my
I
wife
don't-
at it.
I don't know what those words mean.
I don't have the temperament for it. I don't have
Okay.
the patience. Actually, now that I've been a stay-at-home dad again for a couple of months now, the grocery shopping's not bad. I'm doing a pretty good job of it.
All right,
if I
there we
don't
go.
say so myself.
My point being is
I don't get compliments out in public.
No, I don't get either.
I get a lot of numbers. I'm just kidding. People give
Yeah.
out numbers. It's
Yeah.
fucking 2019.
What's his name?
How about do you like
Okay.
you like them apples?
Yeah.
How do you like them apples? I got a number. That's another reference for you. Good Will Hunting. All right. So
one
Little
asked for
Charmer
that.
Amy,
No one asked for
Little
that
Charmer
reference.
80, who is a very prolific commenter. In fact, every time she responds to one of the topic questions, she fills like 8 boxes. Ease up a little bit, Little Charmer 80. Right? Send me an email. It's hard to transcribe these things, but she has a good comment where she says, "Dad takes the kid out for the day and it's fucking daddy daycare and all pats on the back. Moms are like, hey, jerks, I do that shit every fucking day." Again,
Right.
dads get credit for doing the normal shit. But look, now I'm the stay-at-home dad. If my wife were to come home, she's a little bit out of practice and to take the kids somewhere, I'll give her a pat on the back. Good
Right.
job, honey. You're doing it. You haven't lost your touch with the kids.
My God, what is
I'm-
happening right now?
I'm a
You're
generous
like-
person.
You immediately, your heart
I was raised
is slightly
Catholic.
less black than it currently is.
So here we go. Mrs. Shoney Bear says it annoys her when her husband gets congratulated for merely participating. What about me every day? See, this is what these women are pissed off about. It's not so much their husbands and what they're doing. It's the fact that society places such value on
hang
dads who pitch in.
Well, hang on. Can I flip this for a second? So
No.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. But what about the more you extol sort of adulation?
like it.
Well, you kind of get people into it. It's like, oh, your husband wasn't there, and you can. It's not a shame thing, but it's
It
more
sounds
like
like it is, though. A little bit.
Well, it's more. Well, quite frankly, if it's first day school day, like you should get into it.
You should both go to the first day of school if you can handle it.
No, not if you can handle it. You should fucking
No,
both
if
go
you
to
can handle
first-
it.
What are you talking about? You
Because there's some places there's some companies.
companies.
Yes, because both parents might
Oh,
work
right.
or one
Right,
parent
that's
might work, and it's not always that easy.
Yeah, but school
we're going to
starts-
get into a little bit of the
Okay,
problems
all right.
with
Jesus.
working world, right?
Sex offender, they don't even let you near.
You're right. They won't let you near your own kids if you're a
know
sex
what?
offender. And God damn it, you
What if
shouldn't
you're
be near
what if
your
you're
own
a
kids.
sexy offender?
Well, that's why I keep
You know
getting
what
all
I'm
those numbers. So, at McWeena said, when my husband wears our 6-week-old, he can't go 2 feet without getting praised.
Oh my God, he sounds amazing, Megwina. You know what? What an amazing husband.
pretty
you have.
amazing.
You're so lucky, and what a congratulations
Macbether,
to you.
Macbether says, a dad out in public getting swooned at for spending time with his kids like he's some kind of hero. You know what? Maybe he is. You don't know. Clark Kent
Getting
he could
swooned
be,
at by
it's
whom?
called an alter
By
ego.
whom?
By fucking
whom?
women who are
Please.
starved for good husbands and
please.
good dads.
Everyone's
So
exhausted.
that's a good question
Everyone's
you raised.
out there
But that's
going
a good
like,
question you
fuck
raised.
this guy,
who
fuck
is
that guy.
who is swooning, right?
No
Because
one.
if you have a husband at home who pitches in, and you know that it's part of the deal, and it's an equal opportunity situation in your household, because it's 2019, and you guys know what's what. Like, you wouldn't be like, oh, look at that fucking guy. You'd be like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
It's the older generation in a lot of cases who was like, they got a lot of grandmas hitting on me, right? Because they see how good I am with my kids.
yeah. Okay.
You're into that. You're into that.
No, but I'm. Wake me up.
But here
when
we go.
grandfathers.
Emily Qualbani, I hope I got that right. Emily Qualbani says, changing diapers, older folks thinks it's only for the mom to do. Which, again, this is a societal thing.
Exactly.
And a gender-based thing where things have been changing. But, like, okay, your parents.
I remember when our friend Tim's dad,
Uh-huh.
when we had our oldest daughter.
good
So
guy,
we were
Tim's
the
dad.
first. Yeah, absolutely. But we were the
Oh,
first.
my God, he made fun of you for changing diapers?
Okay, we're getting there. We of a friend group. I think we were the first to have a kid, and we brought her to
It's
a
true.
party, and then
Checks out.
the parents were there, and he goes, I changed at least like a bunch of diapers. So
At least
yeah,
three.
yeah, yeah. It was one of those ones.
Did
and
you punch him?
No, I didn't, because I didn't know what that meant at the time, because I had no idea how many diapers I'd be changing in my entire life.
I mean, you changed as many in one day as he did probably his entire
honestly,
parenting
all of a
career.
sudden, I immediately started changing his diaper.
Oh, really? He is an older
And
dad.
then I was like, he's like,
He's
but I
older.
need more wiping. And I was like, sir,
This is
sir,
going some dark places
I've
here.
already wiped your front
Oh my
of
God!
times.
Can we come down with this?
What are you talking about?
You're getting very
What are you
strange,
talking
Pete.
about?
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, so
So-
that's really a true fact that happened.
Danny Ann Chavez. Danny Ann? Is that a real name? Danny Ann? I mean, more power to you. I just haven't heard it. Danny Ann Chavez. Showing up at parent-teacher conference, doctor's appointment, soccer practice. Dads, again, get treated like fucking MVP
Do they
superheroes.
get treated like that?
Well, this is
like,
what I'm saying.
I
I don't.
feel
I
like-
don't get treated
yeah,
like that.
I mean, come on.
But we live in
If
a
you're
fairly
if you're a dad that's-
woke region.
I
Park
don't-
Slope,
Really?
Williamsburg.
I mean,
Park Slope was pretty fucking woke.
It's woke. It's woke. But if you're in this scene and it's 2019, you got to get your shit together.
So this is
and
the thing. I'm not saying
show up for this shit.
I'm not saying that the
What's
dads who
happening right
do this
now?
stuff are the ones who are wrong.
Someti-
it's the people who are
First of all-
praising them that are wrong. It's not the
Yes,
dad's
correct,
problem.
correct.
It's retrograde views on the fact of the fucking hoi polloi.
I don't. No one even.
I know,
don't
I
even
say
what
that phrase a
means.
lot.
But
It's just like
also,
the
you said
fucking
retrograde.
peanut
made me
gallery.
Think of Mercury.
I don't know anything about
Mercury,
astrology.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay.
But
But
let
I
me-
think it might be affecting you because you're off the fucking walls tonight.
Here's what I think is that no one should be a super dad for showing up for any kind of like school event or
Yeah,
or
like your
whatever.
kids play.
Now, here's what I will say on the flip side.
What will you say?
can't fucking show up for every single one of them.
No.
And
You
and by
tag
the way,
team that shit.
moms can't show up either.
No. It's not a mom-dad
So
thing.
it's like sometimes we'll both go to this one, sometimes I'll go to this one, you'll go to that one. Well, I'm gonna miss this
Yes.
game. Well, you're gonna miss that game. Well, what the
Hopefully
fuck?
you miss as much as
You know
possible
what?
together.
Let's just hope that our babysitter records it all with her stupid phone
fucking
or
iPad.
his stupid phone.
Yeah, you know what?
You
There
know
you
what?
go. Because you're
Manny.
woke as fuck.
I'm fucking so goddamn woke right now.
So Hillary 08. This sucks. Hillary A08 says her hubby works out of town
Hillary
3 weeks at a
08?
time. Hillary A08.
Okay.
If we could only go back. Says her husband works out of town 3 weeks at a time. Then he comes home and takes the kid for 12 hours because I'm sick and people want to give him an award.
You know what? He deserves.
She's got
an
the
award.
kids for 3
He
weeks
deserves
straight.
An award.
I agree with you. He
You know
sounds like a
what?
very competent
What a
and
wonderful
involved father.
human being.
It's not his fault. He's out of
Yeah.
town 3 weeks at a time.
Jesus.
My
He's
wife's
working
dad
his
was an
ass
over-the-road
off.
truck driver. She dealt with that all the time, where her mom was holding down the fort for weeks at a time.
Guess what, Hillary 08? You weren't expecting us to turn on you like that.
You weren't, and we apologize for it.
I don't.
So I can't read this name. There's no way
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God.
get it right.
Bobby
Bobby 8
yeah.
said multiple people have called me super dad because I was carrying my son and walking at the same time. First of all, are you in a wheelchair? 'Cause why else would walking
Like
be a cause for
racist.
celebration?
I don't know. That's a weird thing.
It is
like,
weird.
come
I think
on.
he may have been exaggerating, basically being like, people act like, and that's another part of it. It's
I don't
not
know.
necessarily
Maybe there's
praise.
communities
Hold on.
out there. No,
Listen to
you
me.
hold on.
It's not necessarily. There's a little bit of a flip side to this. We're going to get into it a little bit later. It's not necessarily that dads are being praised for being super competent. It's that dads are thought of as being so incompetent
Right.
when they do something a little bit right. They get
That's
get
fucked
some
up.
fanfare.
That's fucked
That
up.
is fucking fucked up. We have
Just
Madison
carry the
Avenue
baby.
and Hollywood sitcoms to blame for that.
And yeah, Park Slope, the wonderful woke folks in
The
Park
wonderful
Slope.
woke folks. All right, so I want to flip this a little bit and get into some stuff where dads get a bad shake
Ooh,
rather than getting too much praise, right?
that sounds good.
Unfortunately, there aren't nearly as many comments about dads getting a bad shake. So check your kids at the door again. Funny meme account on IG. He says he makes it a point to tell all moms that he sees that are doing a great job at the playground, and he tries to do it without being a creep. Not necessarily the playground, but like if you ever gone to the playground and been like the only dad there and feel like moms are like, who's this fucking weirdo hanging out with his kid? Or maybe that's not his kid. Maybe
maybe
he's just
'cause
fucking
you
scoping out kids.
stop laughing
maybe
so
he's,
hard
Maybe he's
all the time.
You look a little bit
Stop
like
laughing.
so. And six at the
Drinking out of
kids.
a flask.
Did you watch 6 Feet Under?
No.
So 6 Feet Under, Peter Krause was one of the stars, and he was like a sex addict on the show. And there was a plot line where like he would go hit on single moms
Okay.
at like parks and playgrounds and stuff. And that's what that made me think of, because I do know I'm in a dad blogger community on Facebook.
That's what you. That's
And well, a
what
lot
going
of
to
guys,
playground
stories
made you
will
think of.
stories will come up where like dads will get victimized, or somebody will assume a dad is a pervert, or won't assume that the kid is theirs. Like the moms will see a dad leaving with a kid, they'll be like, he's trying to fucking abscond with that kid.
What?
Nobody ever thinks the
one
women
ever says
are
the word
kidnappers.
abscond.
No, that's true.
First
No
of
one
all.
ever thinks the women are the kidnappers or the human traffickers. It's always the dads.
Women are dirty.
Women are the problem, right? So, little
Women
broken
are
head,
traffickers too.
which is so far my favorite username of the night, little broken head,
So-
says she thinks it's unfair that if men are yelling at the kids, they're viewed as scary or being too hard on them, right? We've talked about this before, where your wife
Oh,
will
right.
go fucking Nakatomi Plaza
Yeah.
on your kids.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's considered like, a rarity, or the kids
Right.
must have really deserved
Right,
it.
right,
Whereas if a
right.
dad loses his shit,
right.
they're
It's
like, that
too
dad's got a
scary.
temper
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Or some kind of shit. I mean, I deal with that in my own household. Look, I can be pretty scary. I'm a pretty burly,
Yeah.
super jacked 160, as we were talking about earlier.
And you fight that. You fit that Spider-Man
But, like,
shirt really well.
You know what? Fuck off with the Spider-Man T-shirt digs. It's a good
I'm
shirt.
just saying,
it's not
you
one of my
fit it.
favorites.
You fit
it's
it.
not one of my favorites,
God damn
but it's
you.
wearable.
There you go. It's breathable.
It's not breathable. Again, I'm suffering. So Holly M. Green that might be Holly M. Green AZ, as in like Arizona. Is that the postal code for Arizona? She said it's normalized for moms to lose their shit constantly. Every TV show has a mom who does this. She's like, I don't think society would take too kindly to a dad who screamed at his kids to shut up and then locked himself in the bathroom to day drink in a bubble bath. First of all, society would not take kindly to seeing a
first of
dad
all,
in a bubble
hold on.
bath.
Has
I'm
anyone
not interested in
excuse
seeing
me.
it.
Has anyone seen The Honeymooners? Like
From
that
the
was
50s?
Yeah, that was the first.
Jackie
like,
Gleason didn't take bubble baths.
it
Yeah,
was
bang,
all
zoom,
about.
but he's
yeah, it
threatening
was all-
his wife.
Yeah,
He threatened.
but
Yeah,
didn't he
domestic abuse is funny, Pete. Thanks for bringing that up.
I'm just saying it can be funny.
I was getting
No,
to the
it's not
kicker here
funny.
where Holly M. Green AZ says that's why your account, Dad and Buried, is so refreshing. It shows that dads reach the end of their rope too. That confuses me a little bit.
Why?
People didn't know dads lost their temper and can
I-
reach the end of their rope. Maybe not from parenting.
So can I-
lose the end? I go to the end of my rope so quickly. I don't even have a rope. I get
So-
home from work, even though I'm unemployed, content manager, marketing writer, hook it up. When I used to be at work, I'd come home, I'd be home for an hour, and I'd fucking lose my mind because I'm dealing with other sorts of like man stresses, running
Yeah.
the world
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
stress, ladies.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. And not just any
Important
kind of stress,
things.
super white male
Yeah,
stresses that
exactly.
are stressful
Yeah.
because.
not this housewife privilege that
Yeah,
you people are dealing with.
Okay, so now that we've lost everybody, what I would say is my biggest thing that I know is when I get in. So I get in the car, and we've talked about this before, but I
Yeah.
have to address it because I just came back yesterday from a trip.
It looked like a nice trip.
It was a nice trip.
I follow Pete's wife on Instagram,
but
so I'm
God damn
privy
it,
to some of
the
his private
drive
moments.
home I was a piece of shit. I was a real piece of
Being a
shit.
piece of shit right now, so I
Well,
believe it.
So here's the thing. I'm all about like not, don't yell, don't do this, don't that.
Are you
But here-
really? Like for
I-
real, like in your house and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
very
yeah. So-
conscientious about not raising your voice. Because I'm not. I'm not good at it.
I am. Although my kids, I'll say, hey, can you go brush your teeth? Dad, why are you yelling
Oh
at me?
my God, that
And
happens
I'm
to me
like,
all the
"Hey,
time."
Listen, fuckface. I'm not,
I wasn't yelling, I was
you
using
haven't
profanity.
even-
There's a difference.
You haven't even heard me yell.
Yeah.
And I don't. Wait until you get in the car with me. Because guess what? If I'm anywhere near the George Washington Bridge
Yeah.
overpass or the Harlem River Drive,
These
I'm-
specific areas.
yeah, I'm going to fucking swear like you've
But not
never
at your
heard.
kids, at other
Not
drivers.
at my kids, but the thing is I get so amped.
Riled up.
I get
It's called road rage,
so
and you should
amped.
see someone
You know
about
what? The road rage is not at other cars. It's about when it says take a
Existence.
left here, and then it says not that left. Which fucking left?
Who
you
says
are?
not that left?
The
Your
fucking-
GPS?
The fucking left. It's like it's telling me to go left. I'm like, which fucking
Wow,
left?
I'm getting a little glimpse of it
damn
now,
you.
man.
Yeah,
Chill.
fuck this motherfucker.
Not that
So,
left.
Anyway, that is why I yell in the car.
So just getting
But so-
loud can be scary, even if there isn't
So
necessarily
I get
anger
loud.
behind it or aimed
exactly.
at somebody.
I get
yeah.
loud. My kids are upset in the back because I'm getting real loud and real pissed, even though
They're scared that daddy is
I'm
angry.
telling everybody. Meanwhile, speaking of double standards, my wife will have just obliterated everybody. like, an
Like,
hour,
turned around and
20
screamed at the
minutes,
kids?
20 minutes before, an hour before, whatever, in the
At the
car.
kids or just-
just in general, like, why am I always having to do this? Or like,
She
the
doesn't like being the
snacks,
concierge and shotgun
snacks
seat.
and
You know
having
what?
to
It's
deal
the
with all
fucking
that.
price you
Guess
pay.
what? I'm fucking driving over
It's a man's
here.
world, baby.
You know what I mean? I'm driving. Look at my driving skills. They're amazing. Did you
What was that? Was
see?
that an impression of some kind you were getting
Oh,
into? It was like you're doing. I'm walking
I'm
here,
close to walking.
but then you're,
But
which is
I'm backing off. of
which is
walking.
Dustin
I'm
Hoffman
backing off of
walking
walking.
in Midnight Cowboy.
I'm backing
Then
off
it
of
turned into
walking.
Christopher Walken
You know what? It
saying,
turned
"I'm
into-
driving here."
Guess what? Now it's Christopher Reeve, and guess what? His accent is. No
Holy
one
shit.
knows.
Wow.
There's no one.
You know
knows.
what this is
No
getting.
one even knows. Anyway, the point
What's the
being,
difference between
Can I just finish this goddamn fucking
Superman and
statement?
Christopher Reeve? Christopher
I-
Walken. I think that's the joke.
That's really.
I
really
love
a shame.
Christopher Reeve. Superman's my
He
favorite
was a
superhero of all
wonderful
time.
humor
He was a wonderful humor. I agree.
human.
You're fucking choking left and right in this goddamn episode.
I'm just trying to say that look. Here's
We
the
get
thing.
it.
It's all about.
I have a
the
really hard
double
time
standards,
seeing you being
yelling.
intimidating and scary. But I believe it.
Well,
I'd like to
well,
get in the
then-
car with
then-
you.
then- yeah.
Later
please.
tonight, we're going to drive out to George Washington Bridge and just see what happens. Get the fireworks.
Yeah, listen. And next week it'll just be me. So
So let's get back on the serious tip here for a second, right? The serious
Okay,
tip, as David
wow.
Silver would say. A lot of comments about double standards, about working and in the workplace, right? So For Parker Lane says, dads don't have to choose between work and family, right? It's kind of assumed that they're going to work and they're still going to be dads and not thought of as being like a lesser dad. But if they do choose to work, that's cool, right? Whereas if a mom chooses to work, it's like, oh, really?
I feel like we covered this in working versus stay at home.
Maybe we did, but this is still fucking double
It's
standards
totally-
that came up.
It is double standards, and you're absolutely right. And I think I was the one who mentioned this, which was that moms have this horrible sense of guilt
Yes.
associated with going to work and then coming home, whereas dads are more like, oh,
But why is that? Is that because of society and
no,
expectations?
Well, I think
it's internalized.
I think, not just internalized. I think your hormones, motherfucker.
Oh
these
my God.
goddamn,
Really?
you have fucking.
That's why a woman can't be
hormones.
president, right, Pete? It's fucking 2019, my man.
You know what? I goddamn wish
You want to take
a
that
woman
back?
was
Yeah, me too.
president right
I do.
now.
Any woman right
God,
now.
Any fucking human being. was
Literally.
president right now. Anyway, the point being is that I feel with that it's not I feel that women have it worse because not only do they have societal stuff happening, but they also have hormonal stuff. Like, it's tough to be away from your kid for that long. It's tough. No,
I think
don't
he's saying they spent 9 months.
don't breathe.
Yeah,
don't,
I know they do.
Don't suck your teeth in. Yeah,
I'm sucking
you-
my teeth in. I think
But also,
it's a
like,
danger zone,
What
Kenny
a
Loggins.
what a weird way to suck your teeth. Yeah,
That's weird.
You look,
It sounds
you look
good in
like-
the headphones.
No.
All right.
it doesn't.
So what the interesting thing is about the people that wrote in about the working double standards, a lot of the argument is there is a little bit of like dads are expected to work, but if moms work, they're abandoning their kids or some other bullshit like that. Listen to me, right? A lot of the comments were more like, if the kid is sick, mom is expected to be the one who stays home with the kid, but it's like the dads aren't ever expected to be home with the kid.
Yeah.
Or at Love and Baby says, when a working mom, when she gets home, she doesn't have less responsibilities at home. Whereas like when I get home, or if I was a working dad, when I get home, it's like,
It's fucking, here's the kids.
yes,
Take over, motherfucker.
she is saying in her house, she gets home from work after working 40 plus hours that week, she still has to do all the fucking mom
sucks.
housework shit, right? So
Yeah, that's tough.
Tori and Cub says working moms get credit, dads are expected to work. Dads get credit for cooking and cleaning, whereas moms, it's like, oh, you cooked and cleaned? Yeah, no shit. You're a fucking mom. Like, even if you have a full-time job,
Yeah.
being a housewife is still part of your fucking job because you can have it all.
Can I just say something? If you fucking need a nice house, you both keep it clean. If you like,
I don't need a nice house. My wife does,
No.
and this is the problem that we have. I have a much lower, much higher threshold for tolerating
I know,
clutter.
but-
not filth, clutter.
Can I just say something? So when my wife and I shared an apartment before we got married, I was the only one to clean it. Once we got our apartment, she just flipped the script and was like, "Why didn't you ever clean?" I'm like, "Motherfucker, I was cleaning the whole time. What was
Well,
happening
no,
back
people
in
don't
there?
notice when men clean.
I was cleaning up in there. I was mopping the linoleum floor that would never get clean.
What are these
I cleaned
voices
everything.
you're doing?
That's just my like exasperated voice.
It sounds
So
like you're
how-
doing some kind of impression.
I'm not. I'm just exasperated. All right,
So,
let's keep going.
This gets into a lot of the judgment issues we've been talking about, right? Where moms get judged and moms feel guilt for certain things. So Little Charmer 80, again, this is one of her 30 fucking messages. Moms get more judgment for taking time off from the kids. Like when somebody sees a mom out and they know she has kids, they see her out partying, like, oh, she's always partying, having fun. She's never home with the kids.
What are you talking about? You gotta get out. You gotta get out.
You're-
You gotta get out.
You sound like you're doing like Schwarzenegger
And
or
you
something.
gotta
I don't know
have
what's
fun.
going on.
You gotta get
I know.
out, you gotta
Look,
have fun.
I'm not saying she's not saying we judge her. She's saying she feels judgment about that kind of thing. Whereas if a dad is out, you're not going to see like a dad out there and be like, "Hey, where are the kids?" And somebody else said that. Where it's like if I'm out and I don't have the kids, people are immediately like, "Where are the kids?" But if they see my husband, they don't ask that, right?
Just say they're fucking in a bag somewhere.
To go back to the working thing, so Little Charmer 80 had a quick thing where she said, no one bats an eyelid at working dads. She went back to work after having both her kids, and she went to a corporate job, and a woman literally said to her, what's the point in even having kids if you just put them in daycare and go
Oh,
to work?
fuck that person.
She said I wanted to punch her in her
You
stupid
should have
face. You should have
punched
punched her.
her.
Well, then you'd be
What-
out of a job and back with your kids, which is what that woman
What?
wants. So don't let her win.
That was the devil, and you just got tested.
Right, so
Guess what?
a
Give
lot
her
of the
a front
judgment,
wedgie.
a lot of the judgment women get again is goes back to the higher standards that people have, right? So Sarah_Gnat, Gnadt. I have no idea if I pronounced that right. Could just be Nat, could be Gnat, could be Gnetted.
We don't know.
She
We
says
don't care.
if the kids are acting crazy with her husband, they're like, "Oh my God, you're doing a great job handling these kids." But if they're acting crazy with her, she gets dirty looks, like, "Oh, you're fucking up as a mom. Right? You should be controlling these kids."
Can I just say, I feel like that's some. She's reading into that too much.
Oh my God,
I don't
is
think
that
so.
her hormones again, Pete?
No, I don't think. Well, no, because her kids 6 months
I
old.
don't know. She didn't
Are
say.
they 18 months
Sarah,
old?
if you're hearing this,
Yeah.
please
'Cause
take no
after-
offense.
after-
It's all in good fun, but let
No.
us know how old your kids are.
But I do think that
Well, but
you know, I think there's an element in this particular statement that might be over reading the situation.
well, hold on. Courtsy Anna says when her darling husband is dealing with a cranky 3.5-year-old, he's so good. But when she's with the same kid and he's having the same exact tantrum, she's a bad mom. I think an interesting thing to talk about here is most
I
of the
don't
judgment
understand.
these women. She's saying her husband, if he's dealing with a tantrum out in public, he's like, "Oh, you're doing a great job dealing with that tantrum." But if she's dealing with a tantrum, they blame it on her rather than being like, "Hey, you're handling that well."
Oh
right?
my God, dude! I saw a dad. Can I just say something? I saw a dad
You
on
told
my
us
way.
about
yeah,
this
yeah,
last week,
last
yeah.
week. Yeah, coming over here, the kid was melting down, and the dad was verbally like,
Abusing.
"Just shut the fuck," And I get it. I was there. I
Was it
appreciate
me?
it.
Was it me? It might have
But
been.
it just on this case it wasn't.
It
you,
wasn't, but you,
actually.
yeah.
But at the same time, you got to pull that kid in close, and you got to whisper sweet death into their fucking ear.
Sweet
Shut
death?
the fuck up, you
fucker.
Yeah, between your teeth, you can't move your lips at all,
Don't.
and you're smiling the whole time, and then all of a sudden you learn ventriloquism.
You're a little bit unhinged
Yeah.
tonight.
There you go.
I'm not gonna lie to you. But here's an
That's
interesting
how
thing.
you deal with kids.
No, he's right. My mom would do that.
Yeah,
you
of course.
you
It's the smart
you
way to
don't-
go.
You don't make them seem.
Here's what I think is interesting: is I think most of the judgment and most of the double standards, even I think, are moms. It's a mom on mom crime, or it's woman on woman crime. right?
You went
It's
there,
older
you son of a
women from
bitch.
different generations or current women who are judging other moms for somehow not doing what they did or not
Oh,
holding up
please.
whatever
Yeah,
their
exactly.
standards
Well,
are.
probably
Well, it's
because-
moms who are like, oh, you'd rather be at work than raise your kids. You're a piece of shit. Like, fuck you.
Fuck you.
You know what?
Also-
We're all snowflakes, right? Everybody's different.
Well, not
We
only
should
that,
all be able to live our lives.
but also at the same time, if you're an older generation, like, oh, raise your kids like this, like, fuck off.
yeah,
It's a
seriously,
totally
you have ruined a lot of things.
Yeah, you
Not just
fuckheads.
the guilt moms feel.
So here's what we're doing. We're basically saying that as long as you don't hold it against your husband for going out on a river camp.
Oh my God, this river
I'm
camp
just-
thing is not
I'm
a common
I'm
terminology.
bringing it back. It's called a throwback.
It's a callback, not a throwback.
Oh, you know what?
I just
Fuck
fucking
off.
crushed you. So household stuff came up a lot too, where the Joglo Mama, I don't know.
Oh my God.
The Joglo Mama says, why are moms expected to be the managers of everything? Dads can come up with ideas too. And my wife, Mom
true.
and Buried, follow her on Instagram, says the same shit where she's like, the mental load is all on moms, like managing the household,
Hold on a second.
schedules,
Yes.
okay, right, all that
Yes.
shit. And it manifests a lot of times where at night we're like, I'll go to bed and I'll fall asleep instantly. And she has what they like to call momsomnia, where she'll be up all night stressing about everything.
Okay.
Is that my fault? Not necessarily.
Okay.
But it's a
here's
thing.
Here's really where the duopoly
The
exists.
duopoly.
Not duopoly.
And nobody
What am I
says
trying to say?
absconds?
What's the topic of this? The
Double standards. You mistook.
I literally.
You couldn't remember the
said
name. You thought
I said
episode
duopoly.
29, the duopoly.
So here's the problem. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought duopoly.
Yeah, you
but here's
thought it.
what I
Okay.
meant is double standard. So there is a standard in which it's you're not helping. Okay, well let me help. Whatever idea you have is not good enough.
Oh yeah, so this goes back to
So
the spousal
this
thing,
is a
right?
real-
where
no, but this
moms
is a
want
big
help.
thing. Yeah.
Women want
I
help
need
from their
your help.
husbands
Can
until
I-
they get
okay,
it.
So here's okay. So tomorrow I'm gonna take my kids to the water park. Why would you take them to the water park? That's crazy. Because then we also have this other thing that happened this afternoon. I didn't know whatever else is happening this afternoon, and you asked me to take the kids
Right.
during the day
Let me handle my shit.
and let me handle my shit. Except for I can't because I'm being double
Judged.
standarded
You're
or
being
hamstrung.
duopolied.
Or duopolied or there's a little hamstring.
So
in that
I'm a
happens.
stay-at-home dad right now,
There's
and
a
this happens to me
hamstring.
all the time, right? Where like last night,
Yeah.
my wife will be like, "You should do this with the kids tomorrow." I have literally never once in all the years she managed the kids at home suggested she do something.
Right.
I trust you
Yeah.
to do what? Now look, it comes down to the fact that she doesn't trust me to do stuff with them, and she's not always wrong. I'm
Right.
pretty much lazier, and I've admitted that I'm not as good at it. I'm lazier. I'm not good with the planning.
Right.
I'm much more likely to like sit around and then realize, oh shit, I missed that, and oh
Right.
shit, we're stuck in the house all day.
Right.
But at the same time, like I have never nagged her. Not that she nagged me. I wouldn't say it's a very loaded term. I've never like said to her, "Hey, you should do this tomorrow or
You've
do
never
this," right?
suggested something that she should do. Yeah.
But you're right. There's like,
But-
but again, I think that comes down to they've internalized the judgment they feel,
But-
so that they load it onto us, even though we can get away with less scrutiny because we're the superior gender.
You know what, Mike? Well said.
Thank you.
There's no favorite conversation in my household than I'm the only one that does this thing, name X, and the second I start to do it, don't do it, you're going to ruin it.
Yeah. Well, they want to have their cake and eat it too.
And you know what? That's called duopoly,
Is it?
motherfuckers.
Is it? Well, we're saving duopoly for a different episode. So it's funny.
called
So
Factor
Life at the
Song.
Roberts says something like that, where she says, when dads, in quotes, help with the housework as if they don't also live here. Like it was what you said, right?
Yeah.
It's your house.
Yeah.
You each share the load of managing it and making sure it's kept up well and all that shit.
I feel like that.
But husbands get credit for, it's semantics really, but helping with the housework, where moms just do the housework, I guess would be the argument. DKC 1299 says that he thinks it's funny when husbands are sexy when they wash dishes.
You know who said that recently?
Someone about you
Jeff Bezos. Right before
said
his-
husbands are sexy when they wash
no,
dishes.
he said that my wife thinks I'm super sexy when I wash dishes.
Well, that's the
that
thing.
was just
So-
before his $11.3 billion divorce.
So
Yeah.
there's something called
Yeah.
shore play, which is a thing that's gone on Instagram and online, where it's like a stupid term, where it's like if a husband like does a little vacuuming or housework, they're gonna get
they're
the
both
good
too
love.
tired. They're both too
Well,
tired
obviously,
to do anything.
yes,
Yeah.
but they're both gonna get the good like he's gonna get rewarded by sexual favors
God.
from his wife because his wife is so turned on from seeing him do those things, like domestic shit. Right,
That-
which again makes it seem like, oh, it's so rare for him to do this.
if
right?
I do that, my wife becomes less angry at me. That's
yeah,
it.
exactly.
That's all
well,
I
that
get.
could
That's all I
maybe
get.
someday leads to a
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
something.
Eventually, if you get enough store. Yeah.
So, back to the working thing. I meant to mention this earlier. Corinne M. Barnes says that her husband's boss said to him that he wouldn't need time off after the baby came because there's not much he can do. Which is, again, like a retrograde attitude. Sure, you're not breastfeeding, but like when there's a newborn in the house, it's like chaos time, right? Like your wife needs to be able to sleep. You need to be able to take the baby and bottle feed it or just fucking deal with it and give your wife some rest. There's lots of shit you can do. Keep up the house, do the chores, clean the shit, go grocery shopping, whether you have other kids or not.
So There was a time when my oldest daughter was born. When she was born in November, late November, and
1963.
and I had a project at work. I was on a
Into it. Nate loved it.
I was on a this is a real thing. I was on a conference call for 5 days.
A 5-day long conference call.
Mhm.
Did you have water?
We had
Did you have
we had-
bathroom breaks?
There was a deliverable that needed to happen for
Deliverable.
5 days. Even though it could have easily been avoided, and I had already said to everybody, like, "Hey, I don't think we need this over the Christmas period." So over Christmas through New Year's,
So
when
your
no one
daughter
was
was a month and a half.
she's a
old.
month and a half old, and I'll never forget that at one point, my boss's boss got on and was like, "Hey, you just had a kid, so you're up anyway."
Oh snap!
And I was like, "I will see you in fucking hell, you son of a bitch."
Yeah, I'm up anyway, helping with the
I'll
kid.
fucking like
not being
I'll
on a
never
conference
forget
call.
that. Yeah, exactly. I was literally on the phone, and my wife can attest, for a week
Straight.
trying to get this shit out.
Did it work? Did you get the job done?
I did get the job done,
know
but
why?
it was a piece of shit
Because
because
men rule the world.
no, it wasn't. The whole thing was a piece of shit because no one works over.
Well,
over
you know
that
who's not a
holiday
piece
period.
of shit? Your daughter.
Exactly, except for, we have
Sometimes.
a lot of we have a lot
She's
of
a
issues.
tween. Let's be honest.
Yeah. But my point being is that to be able to come to for from a guy's perspective, getting a break is not always, it doesn't always just land in your lap.
So before we wrap up, I want to talk about a couple more situations where dads get the shaft, and not in a literal way, or else, whoa.
Those are different. There's all
Those
dads.
are different kinds of dads.
Different dads. good.
So bathrooms came up a lot, whereas a lot of people, when they're out as families or dads are out with the kids, they need to change a diaper.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're not going to find a changing table in most bathrooms, right? So Helms says many dudes' restrooms don't have changing tables. Why? Because only women change diapers. Really pisses him off. And good for him for realizing
Or
that.
her.
Yeah, thank you. It's a him. He told me.
Oh, okay.
Somehow I know it's a him. He was frustrated that, like, again, society doesn't seem to value dad's role or expect them to have the role they have, so that he can't even go into the bathroom and change a kid's diaper. He needs to
excuse me.
ask a stranger to bring his kid into the
I'm
women's
sorry.
room.
Are you a dad? You can't change on a sink because you're such
No,
a
you
pussy?
change on the ground or on your lap.
Yeah,
we
come
all
on,
do it.
because you're a fucking
Okay,
dad. Guess
what the
what?
fuck?
You're a
So
dad.
now you're mad at the dad?
Yeah, exactly. Because guess what? You improvise, overcome, and adapt.
The point
Or
is he
some
shouldn't
kind
have
of
to. The
combination
point is
of
he
the
shouldn't have
three.
to. There should be changing tables.
Yeah.
Because dads are parents too. Not as good parents,
Okay,
obviously.
snowflakes. You know what? You
Snowflakes, yeah.
change it on the shitty toilet bathroom
Ew, all right.
floor.
Jesus Christ.
You know what? Guess what?
Kay Walker agreed that that's very frustrating. Amy Westphalen.
Westphalen.
Well, that's on my Facebook, so that's her full name, Amy Westphalen. I can spell it. If you guys
That's
want her
an
number, let me
awkward-
know. It says diaper changing stations only in the women's bathroom. Oh, you're so lucky. Oh, these are two different things. She was complaining about diaper changing stations only in the women's bathroom, and then she said she hears this same bullshit about household chores. Oh, you're so lucky your husband helps out around the house. Why are you lucky? It's both of your houses.
It's
And
your
then-
same fucking house.
Yes.
You want to clean? Everybody cleans
Well,
it.
in my house, it's kind of like Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman used to live, or
Eyes Wide
John
Shut?
Travolta and Kelly Preston. No, there's a dividing line.
Eyes wide
Same
open.
entrance, but
Eyes wide
we live
open.
in different wings because
right.
we have sham marriages thanks to Scientology.
Yeah,
so
cool.
it's the same house, but not totally.
So you have a plain port?
A plane port. I have
Yeah.
I have a helicopter pad.
Okay.
Yeah. So probably the biggest thing that a lot of dads get pissed about, and this doesn't bother me, but there's a whole movement out there. Besides, there's a changing table in every bathroom, in men's bathrooms movement, but this is the bigger movement where it's dads don't babysit, motherfucker, right? So Steve Rauch
What?
says, I was told I was babysitting when I had my kid with me at the car wash. Laura S. Hayes says, when I'm out alone, I'll be asked, who's babysitting the baby? She's like, my husband's raising our child. He's not babysitting her. S. Boertje says, I hate when people think a dad can't manage kids as well as a mom can. Dads aren't stupid. I beg to
Hey,
differ.
guess
I'm pretty
what?
stupid.
Fucking dads are the stupidest motherfuckers around.
Do you get
bro.
offended when somebody uses the term babysitting in reference
No.
to you being with your kids?
I don't.
Doesn't bug me either, but a lot of dads do because they feel like
I don't.
they're babysitting, like they're the part-time guy. They're not actually parenting
I think it's
or raising the kids. It's semantics. It's
yeah,
nonsense.
exactly. I think it's you're getting your knickers.
You're getting in the
twist.
weeds. Yeah.
or your knickers in a twist.
Or your knickers in a twist. Go back to England.
Over something that's a semantic, which is who's watching the kid. That's all they want to
Yeah,
know.
sure.
Who's watching the kid?
Or
someone misspoke and said babysitting. Don't need.
But
to
if you know,
fucking-
but there is a lot of this where they'll see a dad out with the kids and they'll be like, "Oh, you got babysitting duty today," or some shit like that. Sure, a lot of times it's facetious. I'm just saying this is a thing. Dads get offended by it. For me personally, I don't give a shit. You know what? Because I do babysit my kids. I chauffeur my kids. I personal chef for my kids. I'm a wrestler for my kids. I'll do it all, bitch.
Can I
I
say
don't care what you call it.
the elephant?
The elephant.
The elephant in the room. The movie Mr. Mom.
Well,
That's-
yeah, no,
that's-
people hate being called Mr.
You know
Mom
what?
too.
There we go.
Doesn't bug me.
Guess
I
what?
loved that movie when I was a kid. Michael
I-
Keaton,
It's amazing.
national treasure.
And oh my god, everything.
I haven't
about
seen
it.
that in a long
However,
time.
everything. There's tons of emails that go around. I'm Mr. Mom this weekend, so I'm
Mr.
not around.
Exactly. Well, it's the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
exact thing. Babysitting Mr. Mom. No. Do they ever call her Mrs. Dad?
Exactly.
If she works and suddenly she's dealing with the kids that day or for the weekend, do they call her Mrs. Dad? No, they don't, because dads are the real victim. That's what we can take away from this
Mom.
episode, I
You
think.
thought you were listening to this and you're nodding your head, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Guess what? Dads are victims.
You thought we were on your side, and guess what? We switched up on your ass.
Because we don't even
pulled
know
the rug
what
out
we're
from under
talking
you.
about.
We don't know what we're talking about.
We're idiots.
So one last thing. So Rayo Kate and Mrs. Bossy Pants said the idea that women and only women are natural caregivers, that dads can't be nurturing and moms can't be fun, like that
Get
kind of
the
thing.
fuck
Again, these
outta
gender
here.
stereotypes.
I don't know.
I'm pretty nurturing.
I don't know.
You know
that's
me.
bait.
I'll
Get
cradle the
outta
shit out of
here.
you
Get
right
the
now
fuck
if you're not
outta here.
feeling well. Just hop up in my arms. I'll give you a little cradle hug.
Yeah.
If you need it, if that's what's the little TLC is gonna make you feel better, I'm all for it.
Mike, you're looking me straight in the eye, and
I am.
super into it right
We'll
now.
get on the GW Bridge. You're gonna fucking lose your mind, and I'm gonna cradle the shit out of you and calm you down.
All right, what about the Harlem River Drive, though? Okay, so I do think that the last comment was bait, and I'm not into
Was
it.
bait.
Yeah, that's just
which
kinda,
one? The babysitting one?
Yeah, just
Well, you're not out in the world. You're not out there online. You don't. You live in
yeah,
a bubble.
I'm not online because I don't. Well, yeah, exactly.
I'm
because
telling
I
you,
don't
this is
wanna
a fucking
live in
thing.
this-
There's a lot of dads
Okay.
who are annoyed and bothered, and moms too, by the implication that dads are babysitters rather than
Okay, I
full-time
agree.
parents and caregivers.
I agree, but get like fucking some of it's most of it's semantics, and the other half is like who gives a
hormones.
shit?
You fucking.
Well, hormones is actually a real thing.
Well, I
So-
cannot wait to
Are
get some
you for
comments on
real?
hormones. Am I for real?
Yeah, hormones is a real thing.
I know hormones exist.
You know what?
Implying-
You're a hormone denier.
I am hormone
You're
denier.
a
That's true.
hormone denier.
Maybe that'll be one of
I'm
the
a
controversial
hormone
topics we
acceptor.
we put up. You're a hormone acceptor. Yeah.
Yeah, I accept any kind of hormone, especially
All right.
human growth.
Especially if it's in a bag of fingers.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take some human growth hormone. What do I care?
You know what? You know my son will never make the Olympics. You know why?
I'm positive I know why.
Because he's filled with
I've
human
seen
growth,
you.
growth hormone.
You've given it to him already?
You know what? He's already filled with it, and I'm so disappointed in him.
I mean, you're saying he's disqualified.
Exactly.
Not that he's not good enough.
Both. Both are true.
He must be a pretty bad athlete if all the HGH isn't helping him.
Exactly. Exactly. All it makes him do is get bigger.
He's 5.
Jesus
And
Christ.
you know what?
Come
Maybe it's the
on.
3 breakfasts he has every
run
day
down
that
the
make
hallway
him bigger.
fast, for God's sakes, or do something.
Fatso.
Throw something for once in your life.
He doesn't throw things?
Oh my God, he throws temper tantrums.
Yeah,
Is
damn
there-
right he
is
does.
there-
I have kids.
You know what? I have to say, so we're alone with just him because our 2 older kids.
Yeah, I
are
saw
in-
they're at camp.
You know what?
It's a delight.
He's so amazing.
Going from multiple
You
kids
know what?
to
I
just
don't
one
wanna
kid,
mix
and you're
it
like,
up
this is so
from
easy.
angry parenting to like, this is wonderful, but he's
No.
a wonderful kid, and I fucking love him. And goddamn,
What you're
him.
actually doing is you're going from pissing off just women to now pissing off people who have multiple kids. When you say going from multiple kids to one kid,
You know
is
what?
so much easier.
Oh my God!
Going
it's-
from 2 to
oh my
1 is
God,
so
are
much
you
easier.
Fucking kidding
Yeah.
me? It's a fucking dream.
We should do this. This should be a
come
topic.
True.
It should be
By
a
the
topic.
way, there are parents that we're in the zone. I'm in the zone. I don't know about you, but I'm in the zone where for an entire summer or a period of summertime, I could be without my kids. I'm in the zone.
Yeah, fuck
I'm
you.
2
We
years
went
away.
through this.
2 or 3 years
You make
away.
me sick.
I know.
That whole idea makes me sick. I'm never going to be in that zone.
Oh
my
God.
kids are 5 years apart. Neither of them's ever going to camp.
You're gonna be 90.
I mean, 90. I'm going to be so heroined up when I'm 90.
All right.
You heard it here first.
We did it. We covered it all.
I think we did
loved
cover it all. If we missed anything,
Thank
or
you,
if you're
guys.
angry about the hormone stuff,
Just
let
write
us
to
know.
Mike. Just
Write to
let
me.
Mike know.
And again, we're going to do a mailbag episode. Send me some shit.
MALE.
Dadandburied.
You disgust me.
Dadandburied@gmail.com for topic or for questions or anything you want to ask me and Pete or anything you want to ask us about parenting or about our kids. Even
how-
social security
or how
numbers. I might throw a
badly
couple
we
of
do
those
it.
out.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see if we have a couple more beers.
Rate us. Let
Rate
us know
us,
what you think.
Review.
We love you.
subscribe.
Let us know what you think.
Please.
And we'll see you next time.
Peace. I don't know why you would still be watching This Isn't a Marvel Movie, no matter how much I look like Paul Rudd, which you can deny it all you want. It's there in the eyes, I think. I'm young looking like him. If you enjoyed the podcast, which you obviously did or you wouldn't be listening still, sign up on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you want to listen to. Comment here on YouTube, subscribe, hit that like button. We want to hear from you. Comments, questions, dirty jokes, money, all the money you can give us. We'd love it all. Catch you next time.